Oh my god. Once upon a time in a small Nigerian village called Oko, there lived a man named Chinedu and his wife, Adaeze. Chinedu loved Adaeze very much. She was beautiful and kind, and they were very happy together. But one day, Chinedu started to feel very strange. He began to spy on Adaeze, even though she had done nothing wrong. He would hide behind doors and watch her when she was cooking, or he would follow her to the market without her knowing. One evening, Chinedu saw Adaeze talking to their neighbor, Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi was a tall and handsome man who always wore a big smile. Chinedu's heart filled with jealousy, and he felt very angry. He thought Adaeze was being too friendly with Ifeanyi, but in truth, they were just talking about the weather. That night, Chinedu couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Adaeze and Ifeanyi. He decided to follow Adaeze the next day to see what she was doing. In the morning, Adaeze told Chinedu she was going to visit her friend, Chinyere. Chinedu pretended to be busy but secretly followed her. Adaeze went to Chinyere's house and they sat outside laughing and chatting. Chinedu hid behind a tree and watched them. He felt a bit silly but couldn't help himself. As Chinedu was spying on his wife, a man named Emeka walked by. Emeka was known in the village for his charm and good looks. He saw Chinedu hiding and asked, "Chinedu, why are you hiding here?" Chinedu was embarrassed but decided to tell Emeka the truth. "I don't know why, but I keep spying on my wife. I feel jealous and worried all the time." Emeka looked at Chinedu with concern. "You should trust your wife, Chinedu. Spying on her will only make things worse." Chinedu nodded, but still felt unsure. As Emeka was about to leave, he turned back and said, "By the way, Chinedu, can I talk to you in private later? I have something important to tell you." Chinedu agreed, wondering what Emeka wanted to say. Later that evening, Chinedu met Emeka at a quiet spot by the river. Emeka looked nervous as he spoke. "Chinedu, I need to confess something. I have feelings for you. I know it sounds strange, but I think I love you." Chinedu was shocked. He had never thought about Emeka in that way. His mind was filled with confusion and fear. He didn't know what to say or do. Emeka continued, "I know this is difficult, but I just needed to tell you. I hope you can understand." Chinedu felt like his world had turned upside down. He didn't know how to handle these new feelings. He was afraid of what Adaeze would think if she found out. He also didn't know if he felt the same way about Emeka. With his heart and mind in turmoil, Chinedu realized he needed to make a choice. But what would that choice be? Chinedu couldn't sleep that night. His mind was spinning with thoughts of Emeka and Adaeze. He felt guilty and confused. The next morning, he decided to act normal and pretend nothing had happened. He greeted Adaeze with a smile and went about his daily chores. But as the days went by, Chinedu found it hard to avoid Emeka. Every time he saw Emeka, he felt his heart race. He was torn between his feelings and his love for Adaeze. Chinedu knew he couldn't keep living this way, but he didn't know what to do. One afternoon, Adaeze noticed that Chinedu seemed troubled. She sat beside him and asked, "Chinedu, is something bothering you? You seem different lately." Chinedu wanted to tell Adaeze everything, but he was scared. Instead he just shook his head and said, "No, Adaeze, I'm fine, just a little tired." Adaeze looked at him with concern but didn't press further. She hoped Chinedu would open up to her when he was ready. Meanwhile, Emeka continued to try to talk to Chinedu. He sent him messages and tried to meet him in secret. Chinedu felt trapped. He didn't want to hurt Emeka, but he also didn't want to betray Adaeze. One evening, Chinedu decided to go for a walk to clear his mind. As he walked through the village, he saw Emeka sitting alone by the river. Emeka looked sad and lost in thought. Chinedu knew he couldn't keep avoiding him, so he walked over and sat down beside him. "Emeka, we need to talk," Chinedu said softly. Emeka looked up with a hopeful expression. "I've missed you, Chinedu. I know this is complicated, but I can't stop thinking about you. Chinedu took a deep breath. Emeka, I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. I care about Adaeze, but I also have these feelings for you. I don't want to hurt anyone. Emeka nodded, understanding the struggle Chinedu was facing. Chinedu, whatever you decide, I will respect your choice. I just want you to be happy. Chinedu felt a little better after talking to Emeka, but he knew he still had a lot to figure out. He decided to take things one day at a time and try to understand his feelings. Days turned into weeks, and Chinedu found himself growing closer to Emeka. They spent more time together, and Chinedu started to feel a strange comfort in Emeka's presence. But every time he looked at Adaeze, he felt a pang of guilt. One day, while Chinedu was at the market, he overheard some villagers talking about him and Adaeze. They were saying that Chinedu seemed distant, and that Adaeze deserved better. Chinedu's heart sank. He didn't want to hurt Adaeze or make her feel unloved. That evening, Chinedu decided he needed to talk to Adaeze. He couldn't keep living with this secret. He took a deep breath and walked up to her. Adaeze, can we talk? Adaeze looked at him with surprise but nodded. They sat down together, and Chinedu began to speak. Adaeze, there's something I need to tell you. I've been feeling very confused lately, and I don't know how to explain it. Adaeze listened quietly, her eyes filled with concern and curiosity. Chinedu felt his heart pounding as he continued. I've been spending a lot of time with Emeka, and I think I have feelings for him. I don't want to hurt you, but I also can't ignore how I feel. Adaeze was silent for a moment, trying to process what Chinedu had just said. She took a deep breath and finally spoke. Chinedu, I appreciate your honesty. This is a lot to take in, but I want to understand and support you. We can figure this out together. Chinedu felt a wave of relief wash over him. He didn't know what the future held, but he was grateful for Adaeze's understanding and willingness to work through this with him. He knew they had a long road ahead, but at least they were facing it together. The next few days were strange and difficult for Chinedu, Adaeze, and even Emeka. Chinedu felt lighter after his confession, but he also knew they all had a lot to sort out. Adaeze tried her best to understand Chinedu's feelings, even though it was hard for her. Emeka, on the other hand, was patient and supportive, knowing that Chinedu needed time. One evening, Adaeze suggested they all sit down together to talk. She wanted to understand more about Emeka and his feelings for Chinedu. Emeka agreed, and they met at Chinedu and Adaeze's house. As they sat together, Adaeze began. Emeka, I want to thank you for being honest with Chinedu. This isn't easy for any of us, but I think it's important we talk about it. Emeka nodded, looking at Chinedu for reassurance. Adaeze, I care about Chinedu deeply, and I don't want to come between you two. I just needed to tell him how I feel. Adaeze smiled gently. I understand. Chinedu and I have been together for a long time, and this is new for both of us. But I believe we can figure it out. Chinedu felt a warmth in his heart. He was grateful for Adaeze's strength and understanding. Thank you, Adaeze. I don't want to lose you, I just want to be honest about my feelings. The three of them talked for a long time, sharing their thoughts and fears. They agreed to take things slowly and see where their feelings led them. Adaeze suggested they spend more time together as friends, to get to know each other better and to understand their emotions. Over the next few weeks, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka started spending more time together. They went on walks, cooked meals, and shared stories. Slowly, a sense of comfort and trust began to grow among them. One day, while they were having a picnic by the river, Chinedu noticed something different. He realized that his feelings for Emeka were still strong, but his love for Adaeze had not faded. In fact, it seemed to grow even stronger. He felt a deep connection to both of them and was confused about what it meant. That evening, as they walked home, Chinedu decided to share his thoughts. Adaeze, Emeka, I need to talk to both of you. Spending time together has made me realize something. I care about both of you, and I don't want to lose either of you. Adaeze looked at Chinedu with a mixture of surprise and curiosity. Emeka also seemed intrigued. "What do you mean, Chinedu?" Adaeze asked. Chinedu took a deep breath. "I mean, I think I love both of you. I don't know if it's possible to love two people at the same time, but that's how I feel. And I want to find a way for us all to be happy." Adaeze and Emeka exchanged a glance. It was a lot to take in, but they could see that Chinedu was sincere. Adaeze spoke first. "Chinedu, I love you, and I want you to be happy. If this means finding a new way to be together, then I'm willing to try." Emeka nodded in agreement. "I feel the same way. Let's take this one step at a time and see where it leads us." Chinedu felt a sense of hope and relief. He knew the path ahead wouldn't be easy, but with Adaeze and Emeka by his side, he believed they could find a way to make it work. As the days turned into weeks, they continued to explore their feelings and strengthen their bond. They faced challenges and moments of doubt, but their commitment to understanding and supporting each other grew stronger with each passing day. Months passed, and Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka grew closer. They faced many questions from the villagers, who noticed they were spending a lot of time together. Some people whispered and gossiped, but the trio chose to ignore them. They knew their journey was unique and wanted to support each other no matter what. One day, as they were walking through the market, they ran into Chinyere, Adaeze's friend. Chinyere had always been kind and understanding. She greeted them with a warm smile. "Hello Chinedu, Adaeze and Emeka. You three seem to be together a lot lately. Is everything alright?" Chinyere asked. Adaeze looked at Chinedu and Emeka, then back at Chinyere. She decided to be honest. "Chinyere, we are trying something different. Chinedu has feelings for Emeka, and we are all figuring it out together." Chinyere raised an eyebrow but nodded thoughtfully. "That's very brave of you. Love can be complicated, but as long as you are happy, that's what matters." Chinedu felt relieved by Chinyere's response. It was nice to have someone who understood. "Thank you, Chinyere. We are taking things one step at a time." As they continued through the market, they felt a sense of unity. Despite the challenges, they were determined to make their relationship work. They found joy in small moments, like cooking together, sharing stories, and supporting each other through difficult times. One evening, Emeka invited Chinedu and Adaeze to his house for dinner. He wanted to cook them a special meal to show his appreciation. As they sat down to eat, Emeka said, "I want to thank both of you for accepting me. This journey hasn't been easy, but I'm grateful for your love and support." Adaeze smiled warmly. "We are all in this together, Emeka. We are a team, and we will figure things out." Chinedu nodded in agreement. "Yes, we will. And I'm grateful for both of you. You have shown me what true love and understanding mean." As they enjoyed their meal, Chinedu felt a deep sense of contentment. He realized that love didn't have to fit into one mold. It could be different and still be beautiful. Amina added, "Working together makes us stronger." The next day, the trio decided to visit Adaeze's parents. They wanted to share their story and hope for their support. Adaeze was nervous but knew it was important. "Something we need to tell you. Chinedu has feelings for Emeka, and we are trying to navigate our relationship together." Mr. Okafor looked surprised, while Mrs. Okafor seemed thoughtful. After a moment of silence, Mrs. Okafor spoke. "Adaeze, Chinedu, Emeka, love is a powerful thing. It can be complicated, but as long as you support each other and are honest, you will find a way." Mr. Okafor nodded in agreement. "We may not fully understand, but we trust you, Adaeze. We want you to be happy." Chinedu felt a wave of relief and gratitude. "Thank you, Mama Papa. Your support means everything to us." As they left Adaeze's parents' house, they felt more confident in their journey. They knew there would be challenges, but with love and understanding, they believed they could face anything. As the weeks turned into months, Chinedu, Adaeze and Emeka continued to grow together. They faced moments of doubt and fear, but always came back to the love and trust they had built. They learned that love could be different and still be strong. And so, their journey continued, filled with hope, love, and the promise of a future where they could all be happy together. As time went on, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka settled into a routine that worked for them. They spent their days working, enjoying each other's company, and navigating the challenges of their unique relationship. Despite the gossip from some villagers, they felt stronger together. One day, while they were enjoying a quiet afternoon at home, there was a knock on the door. Chinedu opened it to find Chief Okeke, the village elder, standing there. Chief Okeke was a wise and respected man, known for his fairness and understanding. Chinedu, male, mid-30s, oval face shape, dark brown skin, short curly black hair, Nigerian, dark brown eyes, wearing a traditional agbada. Adaeze, female, late 20s, heart-shaped face, dark brown skin, long braided black hair, Nigerian dark brown eyes, dressed in a beautiful Ankara dress. Emeka, male, early 30s, square face shape, dark brown skin, shaved head, Nigerian, dark brown eyes, wearing a vibrant Isiagu shirt. "Good afternoon, Chinedu. May I come in?" Chief Okeke asked. Chief Okeke greeted Adaeze and Emeka with a warm smile. "I have heard some rumors about you three, and I wanted to speak with you directly." "Of course, Chief Okeke. Please, come in," Chinedu replied, stepping aside to let him in. Adaeze and Emeka exchanged worried glances, but Chinedu nodded. "We understand, Chief. Please, have a seat." As they all sat down, Chief Okeke looked at them kindly. "I have heard that you, Chinedu, have feelings for Emeka, and that the three of you are trying to navigate this together. Is that true?"
Chinedu took a deep breath and nodded. "Yes, Chief, it is true. We have been open and honest with each other, and we are trying to make it work."
Chief Okeke stroked his beard thoughtfully. "Love is a complex thing. It can take many forms, and what matters most is that you treat each other with respect and kindness. If you can do that, then you have my support." Adaeze sighed in relief. "Thank you, Chief Okeke. Your support means a lot to us." Emeka nodded in agreement. "We are trying our best to be honest and caring toward each other." Chief Okeke smiled. "Good. Remember, it is not the opinions of others that define your happiness. It is how you treat one another and the love you share. Stay true to yourselves and your hearts." With those wise words, Chief Okeke stood up to leave. "Thank you for your time. I will always be here if you need advice or support." After Chief Okeke left, the trio felt a renewed sense of hope. They knew their journey would still be challenging, but having the support of someone as respected as Chief Okeke was a great comfort. Days turned into weeks, and life continued in the village. One sunny afternoon, while Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka were working in the garden, they noticed a group of children playing nearby. The children were laughing and chasing each other, their joy infectious. One of the children, a little girl named Ngozi, ran up to them and asked, "Can we play here?" "We promise to be careful." Adaeze smiled warmly. "Of course, Ngozi. Just be sure to watch out for the plants." As the children played, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka found themselves joining in. They played games, told stories, and shared laughter. It was a reminder of the simple joys in life and the importance of community. Later that evening, as they sat together watching the sunset, Chinedu turned to Adaeze and Emeka. "I'm grateful for both of you. Our journey hasn't been easy, but it's moments like these that make it all worth it." Adaeze nodded, her eyes shining with affection. "We are stronger together, and no matter what challenges come our way, I know we can face them." Emeka smiled, taking Chinedu's hand. "Agreed. We are a team, and we will always support each other." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the village, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka felt a sense of peace. Their journey was far from over, but they had each other, and that was all that mattered. As the days turned into months, the bond between Chinedu, Adaize and Emeka continued to strengthen. They became more comfortable with their unique relationship, finding joy in the small moments they shared together. The villagers, slowly but surely, began to accept their situation, seeing the genuine happiness and love that radiated from the trio. One day, as they were walking through the village, they saw a notice about the annual village festival. The festival was a big event, filled with music, dancing, and traditional ceremonies. Chinedu suggested they all attend together. "This festival is a perfect opportunity for us to show everyone that we are united," Chinedu said. Adaize and Emeka agreed, excited to celebrate with their friends and neighbors. On the day of the festival, they dressed in their finest traditional clothes. Adaize wore a beautiful Ankara dress, Chinedu wore a striking agbada, and Emeka wore a vibrant Isiagu shirt. They looked radiant and felt a sense of pride as they walked hand in hand to the festival grounds. When they arrived, the festival was already in full swing. Music filled the air, and people were dancing and laughing. They joined in the festivities, dancing to the rhythm of the drums, and enjoying the delicious food. As the evening approached, Chief Okeke took the stage to give a speech. He welcomed everyone and talked about the importance of community and unity. Then, to everyone's surprise, he called Chinedu, Adaize, and Emeka to the stage. Chinedu felt nervous but took Adaize's hand, and together with Emeka, they walked up to the stage. Chief Okeke smiled at them and spoke to the crowd. "Today, we celebrate not just our traditions but also the love and unity that bind us together. Chinedu, Adaize, and Emeka have shown us what true love and understanding mean. Let us all learn from their example." The crowd erupted in applause, and Chinedu felt tears of gratitude in his eyes. He looked at Adaize and Emeka, who were also moved by the moment. They embraced, feeling the support and acceptance of their community. After the speech, they continued to enjoy the festival, feeling a sense of belonging and joy. They danced late into the night, their hearts full of happiness. In the weeks that followed, Chinedu, Adaize, and Emeka noticed a change in the village. People were more open and accepting of different kinds of love and relationships. They felt proud to have contributed to this positive change. One sunny afternoon, as they were relaxing at home, Adaize suggested they take a trip together. "We've been through so much, and I think it's time we take a break and enjoy some time away from the village." Chinedu and Emeka loved the idea. They decided to visit a beautiful beach town not too far from their village. They packed their bags and set off on their adventure. The beach town was stunning, with golden sands and crystal clear waters. They spent their days swimming, exploring, and enjoying the peaceful surroundings. It was a time of relaxation and bonding, away from the pressures and expectations of their everyday lives. One evening, as they watched the sunset over the ocean, Chinedu turned to Adaize and Emeka. "This trip has been wonderful. I feel so grateful to have both of you in my life." Adaize smiled, resting her head on Chinedu's shoulder. "We are lucky to have each other. No matter what, we will always support and love one another." Emeka nodded, taking their hands in his. "Together, we can face anything. Our love is strong, and it will guide us through whatever comes our way." As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, Chinedu, Adaize, and Emeka felt a profound sense of peace and contentment. Their journey was far from over, but they knew they would continue to face it together, with love and understanding. In the evenings, Chinedu, Adaize, and Emeka would often gather with their neighbors to share stories and laughter. They found that their openness had inspired others in the village to be more accepting and understanding of different relationships. One evening, while they were sitting around a fire with their friends, Emeka shared a story from his childhood. "When I was a boy, my grandfather told me about the importance of love and respect. He said that true happiness comes from understanding and accepting each other." Adaize nodded. "That is very wise. We have learned that love can be different and still be beautiful. It's about caring for each other and being honest." Chinedu added. And it's about supporting one another, no matter what challenges we face. We are stronger together. Their friends listened intently, nodding in agreement. The sense of community and support was growing stronger with each passing day. In the evenings, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka would often gather with their neighbors to share stories and laughter. They found that their openness had inspired others in the village to be more accepting and understanding of different relationships. One evening, while they were sitting around a fire with their friends, Emeka shared a story from his childhood. When I was a boy, my grandfather told me about the importance of love and respect. He said that true happiness comes from understanding and accepting each other. Adiz nodded. That is very wise. We have learned that love can be different and still be beautiful. It's about caring for each other and being honest. Chinedu added. And it's about supporting one another, no matter what challenges we face. We are stronger together. Their friends listened intently, nodding in agreement. The sense of community and support was growing stronger with each passing day. One day Chinedu received a letter from an old friend, Kelechi, who lived in a nearby town. Kelechi had heard about their unique relationship and wanted to visit and learn more. Chinedu was excited to reconnect with his friend and share their story. When Kelechi arrived, Chinedu introduced him to Adaeze and Emeka. They spent the day talking and catching up. Kelechi was impressed by the love and understanding they shared. Chinedu, you have found something truly special. I can see the happiness and harmony in your relationship, Kelechi said. Chinedu smiled. Thank you, Kelechi. It hasn't been easy, but we are committed to each other and our journey. Kelechi stayed with them for a few days, observing their daily life and learning from their experiences. Before he left, he shared his thoughts. Your story has inspired me. I will take what I have learned here and share it with my community. Love and acceptance are powerful, and I believe they can bring positive change. As Kelechi departed, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka felt a sense of accomplishment. Their journey was making a difference, not just in their village, but beyond. One evening, as they were sitting together watching the stars, Adaeze had an idea. Why don't we start a community garden? It can be a place where everyone can come together, learn and share. It will be a symbol of our unity and love. Chinedu and Emeka loved the idea. They began planning the garden, involving their neighbors and friends in the process. The community garden became a place of learning, sharing, and growing together. As the garden flourished, so did the sense of community. People from all walks of life came together, working side by side, learning from each other, and forming bonds of friendship and trust. Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka looked at their thriving garden with pride. They had created something beautiful, not just in the garden, but in their hearts and their community. Their journey continued, filled with love, understanding, and the promise of a bright future. Together, they knew they could face anything and create a world where love and acceptance would always flourish. As the community garden continued to flourish, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka noticed how their village became more vibrant and connected. People who once kept to themselves were now sharing meals, stories, and laughter. The garden had become a symbol of unity and acceptance. One afternoon, while working in the garden, they were approached by a young woman named Amara. She was shy but determined to speak to them. Excuse me, Chinedu, Adaeze, Emeka. I have been watching how you work together and support each other. I have a problem, and I was hoping you could help me. Adaeze smiled warmly at Amara. Of course, Amara. What's on your mind? Amara took a deep breath. I have feelings for someone, but I'm afraid to tell my family. They have very traditional views, and I don't know if they will understand. Chinedu nodded, understanding her fear. It's always hard to open up about something personal. But you don't have to go through it alone. We're here for you, and we'll help you find a way to talk to your family. Emeka added, "Sometimes, people just need time to understand. Let's think of a way to approach this together." Over the next few days, they spent time with Amara, helping her gather the courage to talk to her family. They rehearsed conversations, shared their own experiences, and assured her that she was not alone. Finally, Amara felt ready. She invited her family to the community garden, hoping the peaceful and accepting atmosphere would help. With Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka by her side, she spoke to her family about her feelings. At first, her family was surprised and unsure how to react. But seeing the support and love from Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka helped them understand. They realized that love could take many forms and that accepting and supporting each other was what truly mattered. Amara's family embraced her, promising to support her and learn together. It was a beautiful moment of acceptance and love, showing that change was possible with understanding and compassion. As the months passed, the village continued to grow closer. The community garden became a place where people shared not just their plants, but their lives and dreams. It was a place of healing and growth, both for the land and the people. One day, while walking through the garden, Chinedu noticed an older man named Papa Okoro sitting alone, looking troubled. He approached him with a gentle smile. "Papa Okoro, is everything all right?" Papa Okoro sighed deeply. "Chinedu, I have been struggling with something for a long time. I grew up with very strict beliefs, and it's hard for me to accept things that are different. But seeing the happiness and unity here has made me question my views." Chinedu sat down beside him. "Change is never easy, Papa Okoro. It takes time and a willingness to understand, but you are not alone. We are all learning together." Papa Okoro nodded, a tear slipping down his cheek. "I want to learn, Chinedu. I want to be part of this community and support my neighbors. Can you help me?" Chinedu placed a reassuring hand on Papa Okoro's shoulder. "Of course. We are all here to support each other. Let's take it one step at a time." As Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka continued to support and guide their community, they saw the power of love and acceptance firsthand. They realized that their journey was not just about their relationship, but about creating a world where everyone could feel accepted and loved. Their story continued to inspire others, showing that with patience, understanding, and love, anything was possible. Together they knew they could face whatever challenges came their way and build a future filled with hope and unity. As the days went by, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka continued to invest their time and energy into the community garden. It became a hub for the village, a place where people gathered not only to tend to plants but to share their lives, dreams, and challenges. It was a symbol of the unity and acceptance that Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka had worked so hard to cultivate. One evening, as they were finishing up their work in the garden, they noticed a newcomer standing at the edge, watching them. The man looked hesitant but intrigued. Chinedu approached him with a welcoming smile. "Hello, I'm Chinedu. Welcome to our garden. How can we help you?" Chinedu asked. The man introduced himself as Olisa. "I've heard a lot about this place and the wonderful things happening here. I recently moved to the village, and I'm looking for a fresh start. I was wondering if I could join you all." Adaeze stepped forward with a warm smile. "Of course, Olisa. Everyone is welcome here. Come, let us show you around." As they gave Olisa a tour of the garden, he shared his story. He had moved to the village seeking a new beginning after experiencing hardship in his previous home. The acceptance and community spirit he had heard about drew him in, and he hoped to find a place where he could belong. Over the next few weeks, Olisa became an active member of the community garden. He brought new ideas and techniques for growing crops and quickly became friends with many villagers. One afternoon, while they were all working together, Olisa hesitated before speaking. "There's something I need to tell you all. I was hesitant at first, but seeing how open and accepting everyone here is, I feel I can be honest." Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka listened attentively. Olisa continued, "I am gay, and in my previous village, I faced a lot of discrimination. That's why I left. I wanted to find a place where I could be myself without fear. Adais reached out and took Olisa's hand. Thank you for sharing your story with us, Olisa. You are safe here, and we accept you for who you are. Emeka added, everyone deserves to be themselves and feel loved and accepted. We are glad you found your way to us. Olisa smiled, tears of relief in his eyes. Thank you. It means a lot to me. As the community continued to grow, they held events and workshops in the garden to promote understanding and acceptance. They invited speakers, held discussions, and celebrated different cultures and identities. The garden became not just a place of growth for plants, but for people as well. One day, Chinedu received a letter from an organization in the city that had heard about their efforts. They wanted to visit the garden and learn from their success to help other communities foster acceptance and unity. Chinedu was thrilled and shared the news with Adesi and Emeka. This is amazing. Our little garden is making a big impact, Adesi said, beaming with pride. Emeka nodded. It shows that love and acceptance can change the world, one community at a time. When the representatives from the organization arrived, they were impressed by what they saw. They spent several days with the villagers, learning about their journey and the positive changes that had taken place. The representatives left inspired, promising to share their story far and wide. As the seasons changed, the community garden continued to thrive. It had become a beacon of hope and a symbol of what was possible when people came together with open hearts and minds. Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that their journey had not only transformed their lives but had also touched so many others. One evening, as they sat together watching the sunset over the garden, Chinedu turned to Adez and Emeka. We've come so far, and I'm so grateful for this journey. Our love and commitment to each other and our community have made all of this possible. Adez smiled, holding their hands. We are stronger together, and our love will continue to guide us. Emeka nodded, his eyes filled with pride. Together, we can face anything. Our story is just beginning, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the garden, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka felt a profound sense of peace and hope. Their journey was far from over, but they knew that with love, understanding, and acceptance, they could create a world where everyone could thrive. As the community garden continued to blossom, the spirit of unity and acceptance spread beyond the village. People from neighboring areas came to visit, learn, and share in the experiences that had brought the villagers closer together. Chinedu, Adeze, and Emeka were often asked to speak about their journey and the importance of love and understanding. One day, while they were tending to the garden, they received a letter from the village council. The letter invited them to a special gathering where they would be honored for their contributions to the community. Chinedu, Adez, and Emeka were deeply touched by the gesture and gladly accepted the invitation. At the gathering, Chief Okeke stood before the assembled villagers and guests. Today, we celebrate not just the beauty of this garden, but the beauty of the hearts that nurtured it. Chinedu, Adeze, and Emeka have shown us the power of love, acceptance, and unity. Their story is a testament to what we can achieve when we embrace each other's differences and support one another. As Chinedu, Adaez, and Emeka stepped forward to accept their honors, they felt a wave of emotion. Chinedu took the microphone and addressed the crowd. We are deeply grateful for this recognition. Our journey has been one of love, understanding, and growth. We hope that our story inspires others to open their hearts and minds, to embrace differences, and to create communities where everyone feels accepted and loved. Adais added, it hasn't always been easy, but we've learned that true strength comes from supporting one another. Together, we can overcome any challenge and build a brighter future. Emeka concluded, our journey is far from over, but we are excited for what lies ahead. We believe that love and acceptance can change the world, one community at a time. The crowd erupted in applause, and many villagers came forward to express their gratitude and share their own stories of growth and acceptance. The gathering turned into a celebration of unity, with music, dancing, and shared meals. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the village, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka felt a deep sense of fulfillment. They had not only transformed their own lives, but had also helped to create a community where everyone could thrive. Moral lesson: the story of Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka teaches us that love and acceptance are powerful forces that can transform lives and communities. By embracing each other's differences and supporting one another, we can create a world where everyone feels valued and respected.